Hello and welcome to the JfG Podcast. It's episode 252. My name's Alex. I'm joined by my good friend Ash as ever. Hey buddy, how you doing there?
Hey buddy, as always, feeling good on a Wednesday. Your sparkling thoughts. That's been a fucking long time since I've said that.
Gives you the hope to go on, really,
It
and of
does.
course in such
in
such a time when the whole world is completely normal and there's nothing going on anywhere.
Everything is hopeless.
Everything's fine. There's nothing to talk about. It's not the weirdest year I've ever experienced at all.
No.
Everything's completely fine.
It's fine, mate. Nothing's changed for me. I go to work like I always do, and I come home and play computer games. Nothing's changed. I've probably taken up drinking more as... I've taken it to the next level. Level of a hobby, maybe a necessity
That's an achievement.
now. Who knows? But yeah. Everything's going smoothly, I would say.
It's fucking what a batshit world. Yeah, crazy times.
Crazy
all
thing
over
this
the
week.
world.
My son turned 10.
There you go. That's as
A
crazy.
decade ago, I had a kid. That's quite a long time. I feel old now.
That is a time.
I had a little party. Obviously, everyone was invited. No one fucking turned up. Don't know why.
Weird. What the hell?
I know. We bought.
not-
Obviously, the weather's absolutely fantastic all last week. It was a great week to have off, by the way. To lounge about in the pool, drinking beers. By pool, I mean paddling pool, obviously. So we set up the kids slide going into the paddling pool. So we had the slide going down. Yeah. Yep. We also picked up one of them slip and slide things. Just like the tarpaulin things with a sprinkler attached to it. Pretty much had some fun on that, and we bought some of the expensive water balloons, the ones where you just hook up to the tap and it feels like 40 at once and you haven't got to tie them up because they got little laggy bands on there.
Oh,
fuck me, they
premium.
were good. Yeah, they were really good. Like busted 120 out of them out at one time, and then the next 10 seconds was just madness of and then it was all over, obviously. And there was little balloons all over my garden. I was like, fucking sweet. Can't wait to tidy that shit up. Yeah. It was worth it. It was good fun, though. All in all, a good day. He asked for an Arctic roll for his birthday cake. I was like, cool, mate. I love ice cream and, jam and sponge. So, no problem there, bud.
It's a shout, yeah.
Tell you what, buddy, I'll get you 2. Because they were like a quid each. And I felt so bad, but he was like, no, I fucking love it. I'm like,
that's
good.
what I want.
Good.
There you go. Must have been in a meme, buddy. Must have been in a meme.
Must have been. He got, what did he get? He got a new keyboard and mouse and headset for his PC. He got some speakers for his PC.
Oh, MLG.
Yeah. He got a webcam as well. So now he's going to start his YouTube career, obviously. As a 10-year-old.
Now's the time.
Now's the time. When every cunt is on the internet.
Yeah. It's definitely not reached saturation point yet.
No, not yet.
Almost. Need to get involved.
Almost. But do you know how hard it is to get hold of a webcam right now? It's
that's a fair point.
Easy. Managed to do it though. Managed to nab one. Got some Logitech thing. It's fine. It's like 720p. Does the job. I mean,
that's what you need.
It was more expensive than the one I'm using now, and that's not just because it's the lockdown. Just because that's what it is. But fuck me, I was looking. I've been looking at buying Xbox Ones again because now I'm thinking right PS5. Yeah, right. That's the one for me. I'm thinking now. I've gone full 180. So I'm like, right, I should probably pick up an Xbox One S. Because we were playing some games over the weekend. I'll talk about them later. And obviously he's got his PC, I've got mine. We both got Game Pass. I'm like, well, if I had an Xbox, like my daughter could join in again as well. I'll get on to why this was an issue again later. But yeah, they're really expensive right now. Like £200's the cheapest one you're finding. Like, even second-hand ones are like 170 quid. I'm thinking right now, I should sell my second PS4 and like get 150 quid for it. What do you think
It
about
seems
that?
like a no-brainer. Yeah, well, anything that is an indoor entertainment activity at this point
Right
is
now,
hiked up in value.
Hot potato.
And, absolutely, yeah. Why not? Why not?
I know, right? I should do it. I just
Bad
can't
time
be
to
arsed.
buy a console. It's a good time to sell one.
Well, I mean, we don't use it. It's just there.
Yeah, why not?
And
then?
if I want to use, I'll just move the other PlayStation around. Stop being a lazy cunt, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyway, apart from that, went back to work. That was cool. I mean, the roads are back to normal now, so that's also great. So my commute has gone back to its normal, like, 35-minute journey. And it's full of cunts.
Yep.
Yeah.
That can happen.
I think that's about my week done, buddy. Yeah, that's it.
Very nice.
Yeah, good week. Happy week.
Absolutely. And
Kind of petered off towards the end, but, that will happen.
I
Yes.
have nothing to say
Cool.
at all about
no
your
birthday
week or
parties?
mine. No. Did the pub quiz on Thursday night, the online pub quiz. And,
Online pub quiz. Yeah,
yeah,
social.
that was fine. I won. And then,
Winner.
I've made a habit of it. I think it's because I'm cleverer than the rest of them.
That's a word.
And yeah, and no one's here to argue against that. So
I'm not going to
think I said it
dispute you.
softly enough that the missus
you've
didn't
won
hear.
multiple pub quizzes. Who am I?
Yeah.
No one.
Yeah. So, that was that. Friday night was game night. There's nothing to say, Ash.
No.
Saturday, I don't know.
Everything's just the same, buddy. It all rolls into one at the moment. It's
Friend of the podcast, Funk, was visiting a nearby brewery on Saturday.
Nice.
And he took some kegs down to get them filled up.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Do you want one?" I was like, "Yeah, I do." And then, 10 minutes later, he was like, "It's on your doorstep." I was like, "What? What?
What is this?
He was just gone. He was like a fucking wrinkly ninja, buddy.
Yeah.
Like I was actually keeping a vague eye out. I knew he was on the approach. I was like, he must
you
be
could
kicking
see
about.
him and wave.
Yeah, I was going to go and stand a distance from him and say, "All right." But he was gone. I don't know. Maybe
yeah.
I don't know what I was doing, buddy. I was left sitting here, baffled and befuddled. But either way, he brought me a nice cake,
Yeah, you had
which
some
was lovely.
beer.
And I've drunk all of that. That's
Oh,
gone.
that will happen. Yeah, I went for a keg of Hobgoblin in a day. I mean, that was a good day for me. There's a
does
lot
sound
of
like a good
daytime
day.
drinking. There's a lot of
I got
daytime
some,
drinking.
I got some ghost ships on the approach in a coming
like ghost
Tesco
ship.
order. 2 kegs of ghost ship.
Oh, nice.
15
Just
quid
this-
a keg.
yeah. Oh, Jesus, really?
It's not bad.
It's not bad. I've seen better, though.
It's not bad.
It'll do.
So yeah, nothing. Sunday, went for a really long walk, like last week.
Like the week before. Yeah.
Yes, Sunday or Saturday, I pick one of them, and that's the day I go out.
Yeah.
And all of the other days I don't. So yeah,
That's the safest way.
went for a waddle. Went to the woods. Went in the forest, buddy.
Nice. I like forests. I went to a woodland and walked around it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was good. Actually, we did. Yeah, I took the kids out for a walk. I think it was Thursday. This was before the daytime drinking, and we went into the woods. I hadn't been around these woods before, and we were just walking. Came across one of those swings in a tree. It was mint.
Oh,
Loved it.
lovely.
I had to show them how it was done. Obviously, jumping on it, and they were like, "How'd you get on it?" Because it's
Gotta
like
test it, in you.
it's a stick with only one bit of string. If you put your foot on one side, the other one goes up and down. I'm like, you just got to grab it by the horns, and jump on it. Go nuts.
But wild.
Yeah, exactly. These are all life experiences for these kids I'm teaching.
They gotta learn.
You got to just do this.
Given.
I'm trying to think of the thing about Talladega Nights with was it, the cougar in the car, whatever he fucking says. That's what I'm thinking, it's on a par with that anyway.
It's right up there.
Oh yeah, definitely. So
what are you drinking?
Yeah,
Tell me.
That's what I was gonna say. I am on. What am I on right now? I've got some Hop Till You Drop here.
Nice.
Which is the triple hop pale ale, but I'm on the Hop Stepper. Indeed, it's Audi's finest. I can't remember who it's by. Founder's Batch. I don't know. Someone. Ooh. It's really nice though. I don't get a lot of it. I only get it for special occasions, aka the podcast, buddy.
I tell you, I saw some beer on Amazon this week. I'm trying to find exciting new ways to get beer, and
just
that don't involve me touching anyone,
or
going into a building where there's not airflow.
Yeah.
And I was looking for American pales and American IPAs that I had while I was on holiday last year, and I found the Sierra Nevada Hazy IPA, which I had out there quite a lot. It's really smooth, but also 6.6% or something.
They're quite powerful. A lot of the American ones.
All of the American ones have to be really strong because it will take you over an hour to get served each time because some twat has to come over and take your order. So it has to be strong because you got to last that hour.
Yeah.
I thought there's no way of getting drunk otherwise. Anyway, I was tempted by this. It was a 12-pack of 355ml cans.
Yeah.
It was £38.
Wow.
38 quid for 12 Coke cans of beer.
I wouldn't pay that. And I'm definitely not a man that spends a lot of money on alcohol.
No.
I mean, I do spend a lot, but that's because I buy a lot.
It's volume
of it.
for it.
For the volume.
I mean, that's rather a lot of money for a very small amount of beer. But it was tempting because, I'm not buying petrol.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm. Just so everyone's aware.
Yeah, go on. What you on?
It's the produce of Italy. It's empty. It's empty. It's nearly gone. It's Pinot Grigio, buddy. It's the Del Venexi. It's a beautiful, crisp and dry, selected by Tesco. That's my wine
connoisseur.
Distributor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It goes
smelly,
well with chicken salads or creamy. Smelly boy.
Smelly
Tesco's, the smelly boys. And that's it. Other than that, I've got games to talk about.
Fuck yeah, I don't, but I will do anyway.
I'm going to talk about them. I'm going to do it now.
I'll tell you what, you do it now.
Yeah, here we go. Firstly, Alan Wake. I've completed Alan Wake again.
Well done. Did you solve the book?
I solved the mystery of Alan.
And
Alan's
his wake.
mystery and his wake, yeah. I
Alan's
remember the
wake.
ending. I remember the ending being better for this video game.
I don't know the ending. What happens?
Certainly the missus was hoping for a better ending because she sort of looked at me with disgust as the credits rolled. Yeah, I mean, I also forgot that it's got a couple of DLC packs, this game, which you can still buy via the original Xbox 360 marketplace for £4.79 per pack.
Totally worth it.
What
was it? The American Nightmare was one, wasn't it? Or was that a standalone?
Sequel.
Yeah, I remember playing that.
But it was kind of a half sequel.
Yeah, it was only a little thing, wasn't it? It wasn't
poorly reviewed 4-hour sort of thing.
Piece of shit.
It was actually it was an Xbox Live arcade game, American Nightmare.
There you go. Bringing it back.
Either way, I thoroughly enjoyed Alan Wake. It's a stupid game, full of sort of mood, and it runs really nicely, and it looked really cool, and I was pleased with it. Interestingly, saw an article this week from someone who was saying how Microsoft have fucked it like every console generation. Sony are like miles ahead of them. This was printed in the Metro. It was like a guest reader article they just published in full. I don't know why. Like, everyone's at home at the moment. You'd think that the volume of available writers would be higher, if anything. Maybe they followed everyone.
I mean, I'll write them an article right now if they want.
Well, you might as well have done, because this was an incoherent fucking mess.
What are you saying? I'm just as good.
You know what I'm saying. And, yeah, so... anyway...
Now I don't know.
They were talking about. They were at one point in this article. They were like, PlayStation's got all these exclusives. Like that's what everyone wants. And what does Xbox have? And they said something like, "I don't want to. I'm not really interested in the next photorealistic driving game." They were referring to like Forza.
Yeah.
So like weirdly out of touch. And then they listed several other games, Halo and Gears. They said no one cares about anymore, which
is true.
I can't disagree.
Yeah,
but then
I'm
they
on board
listed,
with that.
among others, Alan Wake as like a console exclusive.
Yeah.
It's just like, what the fuck is this? Where's this article? Have they found it like in a pile from like a decade ago? Or something?
Oh yeah, Alan Wake.
It's not a franchise that's coming back.
Trying
Alan
to think
Wake.
of something from back then as well.
Yeah.
I'm only thinking of Super Lucky Tale or whatever it was, but that was
Yeah.
a few years ago now. It's not like old like Alan Wake.
No, they've made several new video games, Remedy, since then, and got multi-platform, more crucially. Either way, it was weird. But anyway, Alan Wake's fun. I like it. I watched a review of it at the time where it got kicking by Eurogamer, basically saying it was like shallow and shit and the story was stupid. The story was supposed to be stupid. It's a send up of a shit horror film.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be stupid. I don't know why that escaped them, but it did. Either way, it's on Game Pass now, Alan Wake. It's good fun. I highly recommend it. Elsewhere, I've been playing... well, let's get Prey out of the way first, buddy.
Right. Which Prey is this? Because
Newest
hopefully
Prey.
Okay.
No, I know. You were hoping it was the Native American...
Fucking love that game.
Don't Fear the Reaper sucked out of a fucking bar and into a spaceship.
It's
Prey.
mint. And when you had those fucking moments with like your dead granddad.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. By the fire and you're an eagle or something.
Yeah.
Oh, mate.
Well,
Great
no,
game.
that's not this. This is Prey. This is Prey from Arcane, and the reason that I downloaded this was, firstly, I'm currently just sort of papering over the fucking cracks in my just long, lengthy wait for The Last of Us 2. So I'm trying to find
not long
things
now,
to
buddy.
kind of...
2 weeks.
No, not long. And I also, obviously, I really like No Clip, Danny O'Dwyer's channel.
Yes.
And he's recently released some interesting documentaries, which is handy because everyone's sitting at home, so it's quite nice to have them. And he did one on the history of Arcane, which was really, really interesting. And Arcane, of course, makers of, huge contributors of BioShock 2, but also makers of Dishonored, among other things.
Indeed.
I love the Dishonored games.
I love them.
And then they made Prey, which I didn't like. And then I tried it again like a year later, maybe 6 months or to a year later. And I tried to get into it and I didn't like it. And now I'm trying again to get into
time's
it.
a charm, buddy.
It's not. No, it's not. I don't like this game.
Oh, well.
I don't like it, and I don't think that I ever will like it, and I think I'm now going to give up trying to like it.
Fair dues.
It's got everything that I would like in a game. I don't really understand exactly what the problem is. I can tell you a lot of things that I don't really like, and I suppose they probably contribute to the reason that I'm not keen. This is a game that's got very high production values. It's very interesting. It deals with mimics, things that can like turn themselves into objects. Late stage gameplay. Spoiler alert: you can become a mimic and turn into shit as well.
What?
There's an interesting palette of weapons. It takes place, among other places, on a space station that you can actually go out the hatch of to navigate around sort of outside in space. It's a story-driven shooter, a la sort of BioShock or Dishonored, and therefore you'd think that I'd like it. And also the environments lend themselves to you playing the game however you want to, which I should probably like as well. But it doesn't work. Firstly... The performance is fucking shit of this game. It still is. It was terrible when they released the demo of it.
I remember that.
The latency between movement is shambolic. And this thing, if it hits 30, I'll be fucking surprised. Because it honestly, it feels like you're playing through fucking toffee all the time. It just doesn't run very nicely at all. And it's not like it's super, super detailed to the point where you would expect it to run this badly, and it doesn't look that different or that much better than the Dishonored 2 engine, for example, which runs really nicely.
Yeah, that does
despite,
run really
again,
well.
being at 30. So I don't really understand that. On enemy-wise, all of the enemies is almost like they were like, what makes enemies really fucking annoying? And then they brainstormed for days on that topic.
I played the demo. Obviously, I have this game as well, but I've never loaded it up. I think I downloaded it, but I never loaded it up. But I did play the demo. So, like, with the enemies, does it actually change from those fucking shitty, annoying black things that you can't hit?
So everything is essentially a shitty, annoying black thing that you can't hit, but they vary in shape and size. It starts off with these little spidery thingies that can kind of stand up on their hind legs and sort of wail on you. You start the game with a wrench and very, very limited stamina, which I'm sure was probably considered to be a really good idea at the time, but means that you're just swinging like a fucking retard maybe 3 times, and then you're like standing there just getting a complete fucking tonking as your stamina recharges. The first gun you're introduced to seems like a cool gun in that it's like a gloop gun that can kind of... Basically, it looks like the foam you put inside your fucking insulation.
Yeah.
Except it doesn't hold the enemies for very long, and you can probably upgrade it, but I'm not going to, because I'm done with this fucking thing. Yeah, the enemies, they move about you like really quickly in a really annoying fashion. You're constantly on it. This is less a criticism and more a feature of the game that I don't like. Obviously, the mimic thing, it's all very clever, but the idea that you can never relax for 1 second because anything in the environment around you could at any moment turn into an enemy, I find quite a miserable experience. Funnily enough, it doesn't build tension for me because you can't just have constant tension.
No,
that's really quite miserable.
Yeah, that's not fun.
And they don't do much damage, so perhaps it's not that big a deal. But to me, it's I can't get on board with any of this. Coupled with glitches that I remember from my second attempt at playing this game still remain, where at one point the pathing completely fucks up. I've had this happen several times where it's telling me to go through a door, and I go through that door, and the waypoint switches back to the door.
Go
I just
back
came
through that door.
Just keep sending, just go. No, it was that way. No, it was that way, and it'll do that into the space scenes as well. You go out an airlock, and it tells you to go back in that airlock, and then you get inside, and it's like, no, you want to go out the airlock. Like, fuck off! This is a bad video game. This is, and perhaps if you persevere through all of this stuff, it gets really good. I don't know. I'll never know, but I've tried my absolute best, and I give up.
That's fair dues, buddy.
Yeah. Having said that, if this thing was like up-resed like 4K 60 on like a PS5 or something like that, for example, I would consider giving it another go with actual performance that doesn't make me want to die. But
that'd be nice.
It just doesn't feel like my sort of game at all, buddy. What do you think of that?
No, doesn't help. That's a shame.
It's got all the things about it that I like.
Yeah.
But no.
It was just the combat I didn't like. I was like,
the combat's poor, and the movement's
what is
poor.
this? Like, I liked the story, like the visuals, everything that you said is good. But the combat, I couldn't get on board with it. It just didn't make any sense.
Rock hard this thing as well. Like the second or third set of enemies that you come across, they will destroy you on normal difficulty. Like, you got to be so on it. Like, who can be bothered?
No. I'm good, thanks.
It's the difficulty curve on it is reminiscent of like Wolfenstein, like to me. In that, it's just,
shit then.
It just feels too hard. And yeah, I know, like you can put it down to like easy, but it says that this is the way that the game is supposed to be played.
Yeah, exactly.
Normal difficulty.
And that's what you want to do.
I just don't understand why the difficulty that the game is supposed to be played on is like desperately difficult.
Yeah,
it's really annoying. Speaking of shy difficulty spike rubbishy campaigns
I
that
know where
I
this
don't
is going.
particularly like very much, buddy. allow me to speak briefly about Call of Duty World War II from Sledgehammer. It's PS Plus. I downloaded it. I thought, it's got a solo campaign. I remember loading up Call of Duty 2 for the first time and playing through that solo campaign. What a wonderful game that was.
Great game.
Fucking brilliant. Really made you feel like you were there kind of thing. Like it had I don't know, it just built a mood. It probably seems stupid now compared to like, you know.
Oh yeah, but at the time.
Yeah, it was bang on. This feels rubbish and it doesn't control us. It runs really nicely, but for some reason it doesn't feel very responsive. Despite running like a buttery 60. I can't really understand it. Really weird, like the beginning of this game, you're storming the beaches at Normandy, and it wants you to get to like the seawall, and I found that very hard. I died 3 times in the first like 15-20 seconds of this video
what you
game.
want.
It's a very annoying start. You're just making your way across the beach. I'm out of practice with shooters. It may well have been me, but it's trying to capture the sort of madness of it all.
Yeah, obviously.
And I can kind of understand that. But then it sort of settles into a gameplay rhythm that's just very dull. You know, it's completely linear.
Yeah, I was going to say corridor after corridor, is it?
Yeah. Go down here, clear out 4 enemies. Go down here, clear out 4 enemies.
Yeah.
Lots of shouting, lots of explosions. It looks nice, but not amazing. And yeah, the gameplay, you know, now it's the turret sequence. Now you're in a tank. Get off. It mixes things up. I would argue that the Battlefield like mini campaigns do a far better job than this. But yeah, the shooting just isn't particularly satisfying, and I think it's because it's got that sort of Call of Duty. It's got the online thing where it goes red if it's a kill. Yeah, it just feels super arcadey.
Yeah,
and that really detracts from the power of they're trying to create characters, and that they do a reasonable job of that.
But if it doesn't feel like it's World War II, then
no.
It's not World War II.
It feels like a modern shooter in a World War II skin rather than an authentic
I felt
experience.
that with whatever Battlefield we used to play a lot of the time. I was like, this is meant to be World War One. Like, you know, I'm going to say, like, things shouldn't be running this smoothly. Like, these guns shouldn't be, like, slick and oiled or whatever.
Like ridiculous machine guns and assault rifles and stuff.
Exactly.
Like, not ghetto enough.
No. And that's what it is, I think.
Thoroughly agree.
Should probably just go and play Verdun, buddy.
Verdun's the one. That's the one for you.
Yeah,
if you want the authentic, like, shitty experience, then it's Verdun for you. So yeah, all in all, buddy, I haven't had much luck this week. The only thing that I've really extracted a great deal of enjoyment out of is The Forest, which I've been playing with the Funk.
Nice.
And, this is a wonderful, wonderful video game.
I need to do this.
It's real good. It's real good. I feel like, I think I spoke about it briefly before, but we really got our teeth into it last night. Because Funk has done his research, so he's like sensei paint the fence, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's got the arc thing going on, but it's a far more sort of filtered
Palatable
experience.
Oh,
It just feels more it feels polished, and for a survival game with multiplayer elements, it's rare that these feel like super polished. But this one really does. It's a really impressive environment that you're running around in. It's not procedurally generated, and I think that's the key to the performance and the graphical quality, is that it's not trying to do all of that computational stuff in the background.
It's just there.
It is, but at the same time, they still mix things up in that you crash land in a plane at the start of the game, and that plane crash lands somewhere different on the island every time. So you're still kind of disorientated, and you still have to kind of find your way. But I mean, the scope of the building is really impressive here. We've built like a a sort of raised platform with a little hut on it. You can build zip lines. You can make a proper sort of Return of the Jedi-esque like village where you can put platforms around tree trunks and put houses on them and everything, and then have
You're saying I can be an Ewok?
them. You can essentially be an Ewok, yes,
Fuck
buddy.
yeah. I'm in.
The quality of life stuff is really high brow here, and that's really great because normally survival games can be pretty frustrating with thirst and hunger and heat and cold and all of these things. It does all of them really well and really sensibly in a way that makes it not a chore.
Yeah, because when it gets like that, it's just not fun.
Yeah, there's an easy path. There's an easy path to food. There's an easy path to water. There's sensible decisions you can make. We started building our base against a sheer rock face so we couldn't be flanked next to a pond that we could fish in and get water from. And then we put a wall up around it so that nothing could get in. You can build traps, like loads and loads of giant traps where like logs and spikes fall on people and that sort of thing. All the enemies are kind of... It's got a really sort of mania, crazy, authentic experience about it with these enemies. They're kind of mental cannibals that kind of... But they don't attack you straight away. Like, one of them will come running. The first time you meet one, it'll come, like, up to you, and it'll sort of be laughing and sort of shouting at you in a mental language, but it won't necessarily attack straight away. It'll be sort of eyeing you up. Maybe it'll run away a bit and then kind of come back.
Yeah.
And then that slowly ramps up over time. If you kill a couple of them, then more of them will come and look for those two, and then eventually you'll end up with like fucking half a dozen of them coming in on you. You can build these traps that like can one-shot them and stuff, which is quite funny. And then on top of that, this game has a full-blown story where you find various clues around the island, different sort of different things. There's an entire underground cave network, and as someone who watched some videos of this a little while ago, there is a conclusion to this game. There are like boss battles, and there is a conclusion. It's got all that going for it as well. It's not just another
survive on the island
fun.
as much as you can. Yeah.
Here are the mechanics now.
Oh, that's really
decide.
cool.
So
that sounds very interesting.
It's great. The combat's decent. As I said, the survival, the quality of life stuff's all like pretty reasonable. It's got a crafting system that works very well, where you hit the touchpad, it brings up a big blanket with all your stuff on it. You've got a bit in the middle where you can literally combine stuff. So if you've got a couple of sticks and some rope, you can chuck them in the middle and it'll make a spear. You can do stuff like if you kill enemies, then you can harvest you can burn them on a fire and then harvest their like bones and teeth and stuff. And then you can get like, I don't know, maybe a spear or something, and you can use tree sap, which you get automatically when you chop down trees, to stick like teeth to your fucking clubs and stuff to make like more and more mental
Classic
weaponry.
Teeth club.
Yeah, the old teeth club, buddy. Yeah. It's all there for you. It's the perfect lockdown game. Whether you're still in lockdown or nay, it's really good.
Like a good game, yeah.
And it's got a solid online mode. I think you can play up to 4 players. It's got instance saving, so if you build a hut, for example, then anyone can save there, and it keeps a save game on your local network. So you can pick up where you left off, or you can just have one person who's got the master save or whatever. Runs really nicely. Unlike games like Far Cry, there's no proximity thing. You can go wherever you want. You can split right up. It's excellent. It's an excellent game. I'm really enjoying it. That's about all she wrote.
Nice, buddy. No, well, that sounds like a lovely game.
Some games for you there, buddy. What about you?
Yeah, not a lot from me. I've been playing the new hit from Mojang, Minecraft Dungeons.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. This is top-down isometric fucking great game. No, I'm lying. It's not. It's shit.
No? I've seen very mixed stuff about it, so I'm saying it's rather simple.
Yeah, it's baby's first Diablo-esque kind of game.
Right.
It's got like RPG elements. Obviously, you can stat everything up. By everything, I mean you can have like a handheld weapon and a ranged weapon, and some armor on. So they're like your 3 main slots, and then you can pick up 3. I thought they were consumables at first, but they like recharge. So they're like your MMO kind of, attacks.
Right.
You get the gist. So with that, you can get various things like fireworks, which are like explosive arrows, things that give you boosts like speed boosts or damage buffs or things like that. You can spawn wolves in to help you when you're surrounded by mobs and stuff like that. And that's pretty much it for like items and shit equipment, really. There's not a lot of depth there. I'm guessing there's probably quite a few different things to unlock, and obviously these things, the further you go into the game, the more powerful they become, but obviously the more powerful they become, the more powerful the enemies become. It's that simple game loop. This is a game designed for like 10-year-olds, aka my son, to grind the fuck out of, I would say. I want to say something about the level design, but there's nothing there really. It's quite linear in a way. It seems like, yes, there is a map, but there's clearly a route from start to finish. You can go off the beaten track, but not by far. You'll find like extra gems, or I think they're emeralds, shit that you can use to buy new equipment from the blacksmith and things like that. And obviously, as you level up, you can pump stats into your gear. It was quite nice though. It's very simple and straightforward. So for instance, I want to level up my sword. There's like 3 different options that I can do with that. One will say give me more damage to multiple mobs. One will heal me, for instance. It's all your basic stuff, really. It does seem like the different equipment that drops will have different buffs to it, so it's not always the same 3, enchantments, I think they're called, on that weapon. There is variation there, so that's where the loot grind, I'm guessing, comes into. So, I've already seen like a rare and whatever the next one is. I don't know, blue. I've seen green and blue.
Right.
It's that. It seems
that
like
chestnut.
Yeah, after every dungeon or level that you clear, you get a little loot box where you open it up and you get a new piece of swag. And then you go back to your home base and you can either play through that mission again on a harder difficulty to get better drops, or get on to the next level. So that's the gist of the game. Combat-wise, it's a pile of shite. It's either shoot them with a bow and arrow or going and stab them up with a sword. Playing on a PC is not very nice. It's a case of click and then they will go there. It's not like your standard controller where you move them about with your left stick.
Oh.
It's weird. Because I thought, I'll play it on PC. And I'll just use my mouse and keyboard. Thinking that, the old WASD would be alright to be moving around the screen. No, it's a click thing. You could probably change that in the settings. I don't know. I didn't investigate. I just thought this is shit. So I connected my controller. And that was much better. Because the whole thing is, obviously you've got like a dodge. It's your standard like Diablo kind of movement and things like that, like move around, roll. It's a third person game, isometric third person game or whatever. You know what it is. You know how it works. You know how it functions. It's just very simple. The fact that you've only got like these 3 power ups and a heal and a dodge. I think that's the only 4 buttons that you have.
I saw a Jim Sterling video on this where he was said like, "There's just no reason to play this over like any other
No, there's
game
not.
similar." He was
Unless
like,
you're
"Go and play
10.
Torchlight or something."
Yeah,
I mean,
but
have your kids tucked into this at all? Have you got
yeah,
any sort of,
yeah. My 6-year-old and 10-year-old.
Did they like it?
Yeah, they played it for a couple of hours. They were enjoying it, but like it's nice for them. It's in Minecraft world, so everything's all cutesy and lovely, and it's very simple. You can res your mates, like your potion like revives itself after so long, so you can like pretty much heal yourself all the time. It probably gets harder. I don't know. No, it will do, obviously, if you put the settings on the difficulty settings up, but yeah, it's fine. I don't know.
Sounds boring.
Yeah, there's not a lot to it. It's wank. It's a pile of shite.
Yeah.
But for a kid, I'm sure it's loads of fun. You could go around with your mates, like killing all these zombies and skeletons and stuff like that, and getting new loot, and that's what fucking kids love these days, isn't it?
That's video games.
That's video games these days, mate. I mean, I'm a sucker for it in games that I enjoy playing. Like I'll level everything up or whatever, but in a simple game such as this, it's not. The gameplay isn't there to grab me, so I will not put any more hours. I probably will play it with my kids, but I won't be playing it, when I want to play games. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
We had more issues because I was like, obviously we've only got the 2 PCs, so my son wanted to play it, and I wanted to play it, and my daughter wanted to play it, and we're like, okay, well, me and my daughter will play on ours, we'll play local, and we'll join in with you online. No, you can't play local and online at the same time, so that's shit.
That's bizarre, because that's like something that you've pretty much always been able to do on an Xbox, let alone a PC.
Like, we did that with Diablo 3 on PS4. I think you and your missus was playing, and I joined you.
That's right.
And then, like, later on in the week, my son's like, I want to play with my mate. He's on Xbox. Why can't I invite him? They're like inviting each other, and it says invalid each time. I'm like, I don't fucking know. End up Googling it. There's no cross-platform play on this, even between Xbox and PC. I'm like, fuck me. Come on, guys.
Pretty poor.
Seriously.
Doesn't exactly fill you with confidence for future Microsoft exclusives for their new console, does it? I don't mean to stick the boot in there, but it's hard not to think that. That was where my mind went first.
Yeah, no, totally. And and that was one of the things, like, you guys have got your Xbox One, so I was like, at least I've got my PC, I'll be able to play some games with you. And this was a game that we thought, we could play a bit of this. Like, it would be fucking stupid, and we'll play it like once maybe, but at least we'll have a bit of fun doing it. But we can't even do that now. I don't know. All in all, a bit wank, really, the old Minecraft dungeons. Shame, because I was kind of looking forward to it. It looked very cheesy and basic, but could have been a giggle. But now, just shite, really.
Yeah, that's a shame. Just to quantify my previous statement, which I stick by, but I am aware that game that game has come out on PS4 as well. But it's a Microsoft joint, isn't it? So
like that was one of the big things. They're like exclusives or whatever. They would be you buy it on Xbox, you play it on both, and then also like my save didn't I played it on my PC, leveled my character up like to 5. And then I loaded it up on my work laptop. My character's not there. I'm like, so there's no cloud save with that game. Like, what's that all about?
It's not good enough.
It's not. It's pants.
Sack it off. You've been playing anything else, buddy? Fuck that game.
Yeah, so last night I played with Trophy Addicts. I haven't played with him for about 3 or 4, maybe 5 or 6 weeks actually at the moment. And he messaged me the other day, just seeing how I was, and wanted to play some PC. So I was like, yeah, mate, we'll play some PC. And we ended up playing Sea of Thieves, because there's been an update. I think the last time I had a big old rant about this game. The fact that you can't save your progress while doing these fucking huge missions.
Yeah.
Well, you can now which is good. You hit checkpoints.
Nice.
So I was like, right, cool. We don't have to sit here for like 6 hours and, work this shit out. Because I've gone on about this before, but like the whole fun of these tall tales is like figuring out the riddles. I love a good puzzle. You know that of me. And going through these fucking books, working out the puzzles, where to go, where to find the treasure. But, if you're on a time frame of like, I've only got like 2 hours to play tonight and I want to try and get this done, you end up Googling stuff because you're like, I can't spend time trying to figure this out. But now it's a case of, right, it's split up into so many chapters, each one. And I think we were halfway through a chapter and I was like, I'm really knackered. And I was like, oh no, I kind of can see where the next chapter is going to be. So we finished off that in like half an hour. And yeah, bam, there it was. We quit the game, loaded back in. The progress was saved for both of us, which was good. So he could do it on his account if he wanted to, if I wasn't there. Or vice versa. And you select it, and then all the items that you've had collected so far just kind of like spawn next to you. You pick them up, off you go. Happy days.
That's quite an elegant way of doing it.
Yeah, well, should probably been there a couple of years ago when the game came out. Just saying.
Yes, a lot of things should have been.
Yeah.
Then people would still care about it.
Yeah, they've added fuckloads to that game. Like,
yeah,
they keep adding to it. It's like, I think Cosmic Dan tried playing it, and I mentioned to him that it's not a solo player game, and he was on about he's going to play it with his daughter or something. I can't really remember. So. But yeah, it's really nice. It looks very, very tasty on PC. If you can crank it up, and still keep that frame rate. The sea and the fog and the lightning. It's just, it's a really nice environment to be in, I must say. The shooting's wank though.
Oh well.
But it's not really. I mean, I'm guessing pirates didn't have the best guns, so maybe it's more realistic than Call of Duty World War II.
Yeah, take note. Take note, Sledgehammer.
Yeah, maybe.
Given.
Who knows? But yes, it is, buddy. I got a bit more. I'm still extracting joy out of that game. It's cool.
Fair enough. I'm pleased for you. It's good stuff.
Gibbons. So yeah, that's about it. I tried to play some other games, but they were all annoying me, so I didn't play them.
Well, fair enough, buddy. We'll move on to what I've eloquently called other shit.
Other shit. Here we go.
Here's some other shit. Firstly, the PS5 event that was due to take place. I don't know if the actual event date had been announced last week when we were doing the show. I don't think it quite had been confirmed
it was meant
yet.
to be tomorrow, wasn't it?
It doesn't matter now, really. But yes,
Thursday.
it was going to be Thursday the 4th. It's now been postponed. Sony put message up on their social media, obviously with the way that the world at the moment, the riots happening in the US and around the world, protests and so on, saying, among other things, that it wasn't exactly the perfect backdrop to launch something supposedly fun, and also they didn't want to sort of, they wanted to. I think they said something like they wanted to step back to make sure more important.
To let other things.
I've to be honest, I don't believe a word any corporation says about having any sort of solidarity with any sort of movement. I think it's all just towing the fucking line because they feel that they have to. It's fairly disingenuous in the grand scheme of things, but.
Of course.
From a business standpoint, it's not a good time to be trying to hype up a fucking games console when with everything that's going on. A pretty obvious decision, I suppose, and a lot of other companies have followed suit with various other events they were planning on having, which probably tied in. I know Ubi have postponed an event that I'd imagine that they were going to be showing some stuff at that PS5 event, so everything's kind of shifted, and there's no new dates for anything at the moment. So we've got to wait a little bit longer to find out about all that stuff, but pretty understandable and to be expected considering. So fair enough. Next, horrible story about Take-Two Interactive, which I'll just run through very quickly. This came out today from Jason Schreier, who is basically the essentially Last Action Hero, but replace Action Hero with Games Journalist. Seems to be the only person who ever actually does any journalism. All of the others are just advertisers. So there you go.
What is journalism?
They don't know, buddy. They think that it's taking money and promoting video games, but sometimes it isn't. And here's an example. This is the story about Kerbal Space Program 2. So this is a game that the original, very popular sleeper hit came out in alpha, eventually launched fully formed, and was very popular, sort of underground sort of following. The creators of Kerbal Star Theory, they had a deal in conjunction with Take-Two and their subsidiary Private Division. They were going to be making Kerbal Space Program 2, and they have been for some time. And at some point recently, Take-Two decided they'd quite like to buy Star Theory, and they already had the majority share of the rights to Kerbal 2 as part of the deal. So they made several offers, which Star Theory turned down. They said that the offers weren't very good. They thought it undervalued the company as a whole, and politely declined to be bought out by Take-Two. Take-Two responded in this fashion, buddy. In December, Take-Two sent messages via LinkedIn to all Star Theory staff, informing them that the deal was off and they were no longer making the game under the Star Theory in conjunction with Take-Two. They'd cancelled the project.
Nice.
Which is terrible, because obviously there's a right way and a wrong way to conduct business, and this is quite an obvious example of a wrong way. But then more than that, Take-Two, part of the message, encouraged all these staff members to come and join Take-Two, work for a new studio they were setting up, and continue work on Kerbal 2. So Take-Two were cancelling the project, but they decided to continue making the game, and they were trying to take all the staff off of Star Theory. They promised cash incentives to do this, and in the current climate, I think a lot of staff probably decided that they didn't have much choice.
They need the
money, and they're halfway through working on the game. And so, a lot of the team felt they had no choice and jumped ship. So Star Theory died, basically. They lost all their talent.
They got gutted.
They got fucked over because they had a lot of outlay for Kerbal Space Program 2, which Take-Two then just pulled the rug from under them. Take-Two steals all their talent and their game and fucks off into the distance. And that's the end, buddy. Proof if you needed to tell maybe a young child that happy endings not always the case.
No.
There we are.
It's fucking crazy, that.
Horrible. I'm sure there's stuff like that, like, happening all the time. But how disgustingly horrible. Just artistically bankrupt company like Take-Two just swinging their dick about, basically, and killing a company. Now, the only thing that, and this is just my hot take, I don't know all of the details. My first question would be quite why Take-Two had a majority stake in the license of Kerbal 2. I don't know why you would risk your intellectual property in partnering with a publisher, albeit a giant publisher. I'm not sure what happened there. Maybe more will come out in the coming weeks. But does it seem at all odd to you? Like, if I was, I don't know. I used to like tour and release EPs and stuff. And I never had the benefit of a major label. But if I'd ever signed with a major label, then I wouldn't have signed away the rights to my actual music, my songs. Like, maybe whatever, the recordings, yes, but not the ownership of my art, of my content.
Yeah.
So how does that happen? How does that work? I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know. Maybe
one.
There was like security in there. They thought, oh well, we'll team with them. Well, it makes us more secure, or some way.
Yeah, maybe it was an offer they couldn't refuse. Either way, I'm sure we'll find out at some point, and I'll mention it on here when we do. But either way, it's a horrible story. Another example of a horrible games publisher. No one particularly surprised by it, I'm sure.
No.
So Speaking of stupidity and money grabbing, Sega.
Hello. Okay.
Releasing at the moment it's in Japan only, although it's expected to go worldwide. They're releasing the Game Gear Micro. It's the 60th anniversary of something. Sega's 60th anniversary, probably.
I'm gonna go for that.
Weird decision to go with the Game Gear for this.
Love that Game Gear.
Didn't sell particularly well anywhere.
No.
I would have thought the Dreamcast would have been an obvious choice here.
Mini Dreamcast? I love that.
Yeah, I would probably buy a mini Dreamcast because I'm that sort of twat. Anyway, Game Gear Micro is coming out in Japan to mark the anniversary of Sega and also I think the 30th anniversary of the Game Gear itself. It's due out on the 6th of October, but in Japan only for now. The stupid thing here is it's coming out in 4 different colours.
Yeah.
And each colour only has 4 games on it, and none of the games are the same.
Well, you got to catch them all.
Got to catch them all. 50 quid a pop for this thing, which is so tiny that I can't imagine I could actually operate it with my hands.
The screen size is fucking ludicrous.
1.5 inch. Yeah, 1.5 inch screen. And certainly made for Japanese hands rather than my hands. Possibly an example of why it won't launch worldwide. But either way,
I was going to say something about squinty eyes then, but no.
That'd be a terrible decision on your part.
I didn't say anything. So
it's 4 different consoles, and only 4 games on each one. I'm not going to list
Baffling.
Them. Who cares? But either way, there we are.
Someone's going to hack the shit out of that.
I'd imagine so, yeah.
Fuck you,
what
4
else?
games.
Codemasters has officially got the World Rally Championship license and will make World Rally Championship games from now until at least 2023. Cool. They've got Dirt Rally. Yeah. They've got that game engine. They can soup that up.
Yeah.
I don't imagine a lot of people care whether a rally game has the WRC license because it is in the same way that BTCC is not super mainstream and a lot of people probably don't give a fuck. I would like a British touring car game, for example, as someone who goes to touring car races sometimes. But yeah, World Rally Championship used to be mega all over the telly and Colin McRae times and, not so much these days, but it's still really cool, and it means that they can recreate sort of proper circuits. Obviously, they've been relying on kind of fabricated stages, Cody's, and then bumped that up with the Rallycross stuff. I think that shapes up to be a really cool dirt game going forwards with the proper good WRC license, and I'd imagine we'll see something next year on that one.
Yeah, it'll be sweet.
Given.
You seen that? Well, I read an article today that Project Cars 3 is coming out this year.
I haven't seen anything about that. No, not at all. I thought they were releasing that terrible looking Fast and the Furious game. They've been sucked up by Cody's, haven't they?
Yeah.
Project Cars 3.
Yeah, mate. I saw it today. I read it. Obviously, I didn't save it because I'm an idiot.
Announced coming this summer. What?
There you go. See? Full of news, me. Yeah. Because I read it and it said about like PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. I was like, what?
Look at your fucking finger on the pulse, buddy. 4 hours ago.
Mate. See me? There you go. I told you I read it today.
4 hour old news. What the I don't understand.
Yeah. There you go. It's coming. Yeah. There you go. Bam. Project Cars 3, mate. There's another racing game for us to buy next year.
Holy shit. Wow.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
It's nice to know that I've got something
there's
to
a
look
trailer.
At later on. There's gameplay and people have played it and all sorts.
I reckon it's the launch title for the Mad Box.
PS5. The Mad
No,
Box,
Madbox.
yeah. God, okay. I've got some research to do later then. That's exciting.
There you go. Well, there you go. If anyone cares to look at that, they can. And we'll maybe talk about that more next week. When we know
certainly
more.
will. Certainly will.
There you go.
You can guarantee it, whether you like it or not. Perfect. I think the last story was the fact that Konami's released an indie game, which is hilarious. It's a little skeleton. It's a 2D.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Powerful. Well, there you go.
what on earth? Skeletak is the name. It's
Skeletak.
receiving very good hot takes and reviews early doors. I mean,
Yep.
how did this? Why? Why
It's
are they doing
Konami,
this?
mate.
They're so weird.
It's Konami, isn't it?
They're so weird. It's now
fine.
out. It's out on Steam, Switch, Xbox, and PS4.
Is it being published by the Yakuza as well? Did I just see?
Yes, but it's UKUZA as
okay.
opposed
Sorry,
to
I
the
can't
actual
spell.
criminal organisation. Although, it's Konami, so
Maybe it's just a front.
Yeah, I mean,
it's
they
just a
got
front, yeah.
tired of all the murders and the drugs, and they're like, "Can we just publish it? Can we just release a 2D side-scrolling
Please,
platform?"
I've got this
Skellington?"
idea.
Yeah,
It looks good. It looks all right. Nice
does
art
look good.
style, bit of fun.
yeah.
Konami. There you go.
There you
Fuck
go.
Pez.
Up yours. Yeah, it's good. There's no EA version of a skeleton 2D platformer to compete against, so this is their new primary fucking video game they're going to be releasing annually.
Yep.
Elsewhere, thanks to JJ for giving us more video games this week. Also thanks to
Yeah.
Ram for continually finding more video games that are free.
Yeah, I've JJ put a load more codes in there. I grabbed Jurassic World Evolution on Steam. Thank you very
Nice.
much, buddy. Muchly appreciated.
They're all just kicking
you
about
wanna-
in there.
Yeah, mate. If you want some games, if you're like, oh shit, I haven't got anything to play, just get on the Discord.
Just jump
games
on
in
there.
Just-
Yeah, you can find a link to it from our Twitch channel, from our YouTube channel, or from the website, the jfgpodcast.co.uk. Link to our Discord. There's just a free games tab in there, buddies. Come and get stuck in. There's free games if you're a PC gamer. If anything comes up on consoles, then tends to find its way in there as well. But predominantly
yeah.
PC Steam codes. Just help yourself. There you are.
I don't know if it's still free, but it was a couple of weeks ago. That Lego Ninja Go, buddy.
I did download that. Yeah.
There you go.
I don't know
You
why.
got that.
I thought the missus might like it.
Lego games are good.
Yeah. They are.
Fact.
Sure. Yeah. Finally,
Yeah.
I wanted to read a cheeky message from Cosmic Dad, who has been playing Spider-Man, and had some bits to say about it. And yeah, so here we are. He said this. This is from Cosmic Dad. I finished Spider-Man. I'm not really sure if I liked it or not. There's no doubt it's very well put together and polished to the nth degree. The story is pretty decent, although very depressing. I just don't remember anything I did in it. You know how in games like Dark Souls and Monster Hunter World, you feel like you're getting better, more accomplished, more powerful, and if you work at it, you get a tremendous sense of achievement? Well, none of that is in Spider-Man. It's just a Batman combat with a Spider-Man story and great web swinging. I think it's just how these games work. In the first fight, it takes one aerial punch and then a 4-punch combo to take a normal guy out. In the last fight, it takes one aerial punch and then a 4-punch combo to take a normal guy out, despite it saying melee got more powerful by 10% every few levels. Okay, so I can still do insta-kill a little more often, but it's still Batman combat. The gadgets and powers for the second half of the game are all pretty much useless. I think I maybe used one of them out of 25, and I finished the game still using the same special power that I unlocked about an hour in. I'm a little conflicted because I loved the swinging and the traversal so much, but every big moment in the story was just a big fight in a confined area with no swinging or traversal, and they all blur together into fight time in between puzzle time and story time missions. So, yeah.
What about stealth time? I like
Stealth time. Yeah, that's probably the worst of the various times, I would say.
Puzzle time's good though. I like
Puzzle time is all right. Yeah, I mean, I struggle to disagree, and obviously I was a lot less critical of this game. I played through it, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. But I can't really remember any story beats either. Like, the story was ultimately fairly forgettable. It was
bad
just
guys, good guys.
Yeah, and
Gonna
the
have a
fighting.
bad time.
Yeah, the fighting's the same basically all the way through. I think that a lot of games
It's not
are
like,
guilty of
say,
that.
God of War, when you do unlock your abilities, you start to use them a lot more. Possibly even Star Wars, whatever that one's called, Fallen Jedi, was it?
Jedi Fallen Order. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, where you unlock stuff and you actually use those things. Where he's saying like, "No, I still just use the one that I unlocked in the first hour, and the rest were pointless."
I mean, I got a suit within the first hour, and I just wore that suit. I didn't.
Is it the birthday suit?
It was the standard, like, when you L3R3 then it gets you a load of, like, special time, which...
Oh, yeah.
I get where he's coming from.
Rinse and repeat.
I think ultimately it's a mechanically good game
Visually beautiful.
It looked great and it was fun to play, but ultimately it
ran
wasn't.
well.
Yeah, it ran nicely. Like it was an achievement in terms of graphics and so on and performance. But yeah, like the story wasn't anything real special. It was quite samey throughout. It was kind of pigeonholed into segments. It was very much a sort of video game by numbers sort of affair. I think that there's plenty of potential there. And I enjoyed it. I certainly much preferred the combat to the Batman games, but I can't really argue with the lack of progression. I have to say, that I go back and play a lot of old games these days. That I'm not that I'm not that fussed about the bleeding edge shit and the like ultimate graphics shit so much as I used to be. Sometimes, like Alan Wake's a really good example. You fire up a video game, and it is so nice that there isn't a fucking upgrade tree or XP. I don't care. Yeah. I don't need faux progression in my character. Yeah, you're this dude.
Yeah, man.
You're this dude, and you can still find like better weaponry or whatever. But yeah, like the idea that you have to rank.
It was like BioShock I was on about the other week. It was just nice and simple. Like I didn't have to fuck about with shit. It was just like, I've got a wrench, I've got a gun, I can blast shit with my hand.
Yeah. Sweet. Well, so often the upgrade stuff's pointless anyway because you inevitably before the end of the game you unlock everything, which means that it's not like. I think the original idea of an upgrade tree was so that you could path towards certain skills and create your own bespoke character. But if you're unlocking everything, it's pointless. That was the case with Spider-Man.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It was also the case with Star Wars Fallen Order. I think I was only 75% of the way through that video game before I'd unlocked all the powers. And it's like, well, what's the fucking point then? Everyone's got the same dude. So why don't we just do away with it? It's not progression. It's pretend progression.
That's one of the things that kind of put me off Gears Tactics as well. Like after every mission, it's like, yeah, you've leveled up. I've got like 4 people that I have to go into 4 different skill trees to fucking think about. Right, what stat do I want to put this on? Oh yeah, if he's in cover, then he gets a boner. Cool.
Yeah, it's just a bit much, isn't it? It's kind of unnecessary and. It's like, okay, what's going to be in our video game? We have to have this. We have to have a skill tree, even if it doesn't make sense, then it goes.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, sure. Put them in to some degree. But just, think about it before you just put it in.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
The looter shooters as well, like, as a general rule, your stuff upgrades, so do the enemies, therefore it's fucking just the same.
Pointless. Yeah, it's the same. Nothing changes.
It's just the same. Spider-Man's got that with its combat. You upgrade all you like, it'll still be this much to kill them. The levels thing. Anyway, there you are. Thanks very much, Cosmic Dad. Thanks very much to everyone who's been involved of late. And
love it.
That's about it for us, innit? we'll fuck off, shall we?
I'm done. Yeah, I'm nearly finished my beer. I need to get
Yeah, I've run out of wine. I need to sort that out, really.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll go do that. Well, lovely stuff. Thanks so much for joining us, buddies. We'll no doubt be back next week. And hopefully the world is a little bit less insane.
No, it's going to be the same, mate. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. If you're suffering with coronavirusy lockdowny stuff, then hope you're all good, buddies. If you're out protesting, then hope you stay safe. And if you do this or you do that,
stay
then
alert.
Hope you're all good. Hope you're all good, everyone. And yeah, scary times. Play video games.
It's mental.
So
stay in and just play games, buddies.
Just play games.
Yeah.
Thanks so much. We'll be back next week. Until then, I have been Alex. He has been Ash.
Goodbye.
Farewell. You've been listening to the JfG Podcast with Ash and me, Alex. You can find us at www.thejfgpodcast.co.uk, where you'll also find our Discord and Streetbeat if you want to get involved with the show. Our Facebook is /the JfG Podcast, and our Twitter handle is @the JfG Podcast. We're on all those video streaming sites too, buddies, from TubeTube to twitch.tv /the JfG Podcast to mixer.com, aka beam.fucking-pro. We've got a PS4 community you can join, just search the JfG Podcast on there, and we're also on Google Plus if that is how you choose to live your life. Thanks so much for listening, buddies. We'll catch you next time.
Spricht der